What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Power Book 2 Season 1 episode. What episode are we on? Jesus, episode 7. Now listen, last week I thought we were doing better, right? Last week I was like, okay, this episode wasn't that bad. We kind of working through this. And then they give me this. Okay, let's just jump into it. So Kane has been out his mama house for 3 whole days, and he is already robbing churches. Kanan never went back home after his daddy beat his ass, and he is out rolling with some gang, and they are robbing the damn church for the offering. And I'm thinking to myself, that's like, to me, robbing a church, that's like a crackhead move. Like, who is robbing churches? You, dude, I know you had money. Like, I know it wasn't that, I know you didn't need the money. And his dumb butt, they left people alive, and he had tattoos that were identifiable. So the dude saw the tattoo on his arm, and it was identifiable, and the dude was still alive. He ended up getting away. They ain't kill him. They did shoot the pastor, but I can't remember whether the pastor was killed or not. I feel like they shot him, but no, they killed him. Anyway, the dude that was working with the pastor counting the money got away, and I'm sure he went straight to the police and gave the police his identification. So we're in class, and they are announcing the people who got the fellowships, and of course, what's his name? The son, he didn't get it. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. Michael Rainey Jr., he didn't get it. And of course, he was disappointed and everything. And so after class is over, Carrie, his professor, goes up to Tariq. Carrie goes up to him to talk to him and tell him, you know, I know you were looking forward to it, but it's going to be okay. And she touches him on the arm. And here come what's his name? Jabari. He comes along. He sees her talking to Tariq with his hand on his shoulder and immediately assumes that the two of them are sleeping together. Let me tell y'all something. This show will probably be 50% better if y'all would get rid of this storyline. This whole storyline with these professors is so stupid and unnecessary. It is irritating and unnecessary. Neither here nor there. We have it is sex week here at the college, where I think it was started to bring awareness to, you know, safe sex or whatever, but it's turned into an excuse to have a good old orgy, I guess, once a year, whatever. People running in classes, throwing condoms, and all kinds of stuff going on, child. We see Brandon and the girlfriend in the bed, and Tariq rolls in, and of course Tariq is pissed off because he was like, I told you that I didn't want her here anymore. Like, why is she here? Why you got her up in the room? And so they got the argument or whatever, and you know, Tariq is irritated because Tariq really don't want her around, because yeah, Tariq don't like her. He don't want her around. Okay, I'm about to say something out of order. So Jabari goes to talk to Carrie, and they have this project that the kids do where they get a code word, and they get partnered up, and they have to figure out a way to get the code word without the other person just telling them what the code word is. And each of them is, and you know, the code words are stuff like, you know, banana, papaya, apple, peach, pear, right? So Jabari and Carrie are supposed to be working together to try to figure out how they were going to pair each other up. But of course, Jabari used this as an excuse to try to get with Carrie. And she blows him off. And of course, he assumes that the only reason why she could possibly be blowing him off is because of the fact that she's sleeping with Tariq. Whatever. So, back over to the house. Like I said, Kane ain't been home. And they looking for him because it's time to re-up. Now, here's the part that's stupid to me. I get it that Mary J. Blige is a woman and Kane is a man. But if she's supposed to be the head of the Tejada cartel, and everybody knows who she is and knows that, you know, and her husband got so much weight on these streets and run these streets so much, it's like they're worried about Kanan showing up because the distributor won't do business with her. And I'm thinking to myself, at the end of the day, even if they normally deal with Kane, they should know who she is and give her the respect that affords. Whatever. Don't nobody know what he is. He ain't been home, and they worried about him making a drop. She was like, fine, then it'll be Drew. Drew need to do it. Now, if the distributor ain't gonna listen to Mary J. Blige, they damn sure ain't gonna listen to Drew. So she calls up her husband up into the jail and was like, listen, what did you say to Kanan? Like, whatever you did, you went too far. He ain't been home. I ain't seen him. And he was like, listen, what we did, we handled, what we did is between me and him. I had to talk to him, about disrespecting you. Like, that wasn't cool. And she was like, well, whatever you did, you went too far. He's just like you. So the way you would react is the way he's reacting to whatever it is you did to him. And he was like, it's whatever, he'll be back. And if he not, oh well. Like, I told him that the way things are, I told him that who's in charge, that you're in charge, and he need to listen to what you have to say. And if he can't follow the rules, then oh well, he ain't there, he ain't there. Back over to the school. Tariq done dropped off the paper to the basketball player. He's still doing what he's doing, and it's sex week, so that's even more reason for him to be doing what he's doing. Mind you, he's still doing Carrie, but that's neither here nor there. Tariq runs into the boyfriend, the husband of what's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Runs into his husband, and he down there like, listen, the app is backed up. You have orders waiting. Why aren't you filling these orders? Like, you about to make things bad if you're not filling these orders. And Tariq was like, first of all, your only role in this is to take your cut. Like, you set up the app and you take your cut. How fast I fill the orders really ain't your business. He was like, I'm having a little bit, I'm a little dry right now, but it ain't your business. And why the fuck you came all the way down here to ask me about it? And he was like, don't you worry about it, but you just make sure you don't make me look bad. You got to get these orders filled up. So he calls up Mary J. Blige, and she was like, listen, we need to re-up. I'm a little dry right now. I'm going to get you as soon as I can. And he was like, well, listen, I got orders backed up. She was like, okay, you ain't the only one that got orders backed up. It's going to be what it's going to be. She was like, I'm going to get it. I'm getting it soon. Okay, you getting it soon. Okay. Now, back over to the courthouse, we got Uncle Leslie and McQueen. He was like, listen, you double-crossed me when we were... He was like, the way that whole thing went down, that's not how that whole interrogation was supposed to go. And you're not returning my phone call. So as far as I'm concerned, the deal is off. He was like, listen, I had to do it because my boss, well, not really my boss, but the DNC, asshole was sitting right there in the courtroom. And I had to, pretend like I was actually trying to convict Tasha. He said, but don't worry about it. I got something coming down the pipe. We good to go. I got it planned out. My next witness, which he's calling Angela's sister to the stand. And he was like, don't worry, it's gonna be cool. He was like, I already got the plan in place. Now, honey, Paz is living good. Paz done took that little bit of money that she inherited from James St. Patrick. She done bought herself a salon. She got her son back in school, and she got the daddy back in that home. Okay, life is good for her. Okay, so she's coming down there to testify, and Tasha, of course, is trying to figure out, because Tasha know that Paz kind of knows some stuff. So Tasha is trying to figure out what the hell Paz is doing there. And Method Man was like, don't worry, she can't say nothing that's going to hurt us. And of course, he doesn't think so, because him and Uncle Nancy got this whole plan going. So Paz gets to testifying, and he wasn't supposed to go hard on her, but who's in the audience again? DNC dude. He was like, listen, you screwed up in the past. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be on your ass from here on out, because you got me looking like a fool out here in these streets. We done let a whole murderer go on nothing. That's not happening again. By the time they got done, he got done interrogating Paz, honey, he got Paz admitting that maybe Tasha had her come and get the money as hush money because she was the one that killed James, and like had her all twisted around, right? And so of course it didn't make Tasha look good. And Tasha, of course, now she's nervous because she was like, why the hell, you know what I mean? Like, you said that she couldn't hurt me. He was like, I thought she couldn't. Because, of course, that ain't what they discussed. That's not what they had agreed to. Now, Diana done went down. She knows where Kanan is. She done went and found Kanan at one of his hoes' houses. and told Kanan that, mama misses you. He was like, she said that? No, she didn't say that. But we got the re-up tomorrow and we need you. Drew can't handle it, and mom needs you there, So, I keep losing my train of thought. That's how interesting this story is to me. Anyway, so he says he's gonna be there. He promises Diana that he's gonna be there for the drop or whatever. Now, Tasha is still making these phone calls from jail to say the same shit over and over again to her. Her phone ain't dead yet. How she charging this phone up? She keep calling him to say the same dumb shit over and over again. I'm just not understanding what the problem is. Okay. So then we have Tariq and Brayden continuing to argue. For whatever reason, honey. Well, not for whatever reason. You know how a guy is when he fall in love. You know what it's like when they fall in love, child. Oh Lord, y'all. So, Brayden, like I said, Brayden and Tariq are not seeing eye to eye right now. Now, here's the thing that I'm not understanding. And maybe I'm crazy. And I forgot to say this in my review last week. But at the end of the day, even after all of that shit went down with them being kidnapped and all that other dumb shit that happened, I'm not understanding why Tariq wasn't straight up, like, where my shit at? To Brayden's brother. Where is my shit? You done took it from here, and you either need to pay me for it or you need to bring it back because I got orders. Like, they taking that thing real lackadaisical. And the funny thing is, y'all got the money, so you could just pay me and we'd be good. Because remember, the whole reason why Tariq is doing this shit is to pay the damn lawyer to begin with. You can't afford. Did y'all see how many pills that man took about that damn fireplace? Like, you can't afford to just let that much money go. Anyway, whatever. He did finally say something to Brayden's brother when Brayden's brother came by the room looking for Brayden. He did finally say something to him about, you took something from me that didn't belong to you and you ain't paid me for it yet. But I still feel like Tariq was real lackadaisical about it. Whatever. Anyway. Over to Carrie's apartment. Her and the basketball player are getting it in. And of course, he talking, that, he want to be with her type stuff. And she's talking that you are still my student and we are just having a good time and enjoying each other's company. I'm going to need you to, chill out a little bit. I'm going to need you to calm down on that. So then, he goes to get in the shower and who come knocking at the door? Jabari then took it upon himself to show up with food. Like, he was about to come in and sit down. And she was like, he was like, yeah, I went to our spot and, the owner, she was asking about you. And so she gave us, I guess it's like the special dish that she always orders. She gave me one. So, I told her I would come over here and I had to bring it to you. And I figured we could go over the cards together. She was like, Jabari, I already told you can handle that on your own. And yeah, you're not coming up in here. She was like, I'm not understanding what the issue is. He was like, well, this is what we do. Like, we fight, we argue, and we make up. Like, I'm not understanding what's so different now. And he looks over, and it's sports on the TV. And he was like, oh, Sports Center, huh? She was like, and then he saw the condoms that the kids was throwing all around school. He saw the condoms and was like, And so he immediately has an attitude. He immediately thinks it's Tariq. He gets back in his car, and like a 5-year-old, he goes into the box. He tears up Tariq's card like a little 5-year-old, right? And he has a new card, and everybody else's card is, says, like I said, peach, papaya, banana, and he writes on the back of Tariq's card, a professor is having an affair with a student. Child. Anyway, so Tariq is supposed to be and this is what I don't understand. Going back to Jabari, what I thought was going to happen is that I thought Jabari was just going to wait out there and see who came out of her apartment, which is probably what I would have done. If you was really so convinced that Tariq was up in there, why wouldn't you just wait and see him come out the apartment? That's what I would have done. Anyway, so the next day in class, Professor Carrie is giving out the cards to everybody, and she pairs the people up. And of course, Tariq gets paired up with his girl, with the chick, with his girl, was it Jasmine? Is that the girl named Jasmine? And so her and Tariq are working on the project back in her dorm room, And they're flirting and playing around or whatever. And who come walking in again? The boyfriend from Georgetown. I ain't never seen nobody that got so much time to run up and down the road between Georgetown and New York than this dude that's supposedly, he's supposedly like in law school or something down in Georgetown. I'm not understanding why you got so much time, sir. Why do you have so much time, sir? So so Tariq was like, yo, let me get out of here, And when Tariq leaves, she ends up breaking up with the dude. She was like, listen, I'm not understanding why you always up here in my business. Like, you doing way too much. And but as a matter of fact, it's over. We're done. And he was like, what? Don't make a mistake. She was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Now, Tariq is supposed to be meeting up with Brayden. I forgot why. I think they're supposed to be meeting up to go re-up or whatever shit. I don't remember. But he's supposed to be meeting up with Brayden. And he happens to see Brayden's girlfriend walking down the street. And so he decides to follow her. Well, he happens to follow her into court. And guess who is her representative in court? Uncle Nancy. And so as soon as Tariq sees her uncle, because she even said, well, my uncle is on the way. My uncle is my lawyer. So as soon as her uncle walks through the court, now all of a sudden Tariq is like, oh, shit. Now he's making connections that may or may not necessarily be there to be made, right? But of course he makes the connections, and now he got to get Brayden to break up with her, but he can't tell Brayden who she's connected to, because of course he don't want Brayden in that much of his business. Now when Tariq had a conversation with Brayden's brother brought up the fact that, oh yeah, I saw you hooking up with Brayden's girl or whatever that night that she put the Mickey in his drink. And of course Tariq don't remember none of that, and we know that nothing really did happen. And so Tariq tells Brayden, yo, your girl came on to me, because he's trying to get Brayden to break up with her. Your girl came on to me, I ain't want to be the one to tell you, but that's why I really don't want her around, because that day you was missing, she came on to me again, this and this and that. Brayden doesn't believe him, because when a man is in love, or when a woman is in love, they don't want to hear nothing bad about who the person they dating. That person's perfect, everybody else is lying. He goes to confront her. Now she thinks he's talking about going through Tariq's phone and putting the GPS on his phone. Not that. And so when she hesitates, when he asks her, did anything, I know what you did to Tariq. So when she sort of hesitates, in his mind, that's an admission of guilt. Like, oh, so you did come on to my roommate. Oh, okay, bet. But that's not really what it was. So he ends up breaking up with her. And she says, listen, that wasn't me. That was your brother. Like, your brother was the one that came on to me. That wasn't Tariq. But at this point, it don't matter. Brayden breaks up with her. He rolls out. Now, Kareem Jabari, I didn't call him Kareem. See how I be messing up people's names that quick? I had it right at the beginning. Jabari. Now, Jabari thinks that Tariq is sleeping with Carrie, but Jabari is also stealing Tariq's essays and using them in his damn book. And he is stuck on chapter 6. So he calls Tariq in, and he tells Tariq, listen, I know you was upset about not getting that fellowship, but don't you worry. There's another opportunity that maybe you can get the fellowship. I just need you to do an extra credit assignment for me. And he gives him this assignment, talking about the power of relationships or something like that. And I need you to dig deep. I need you to really dig deep. I don't want a surface paper. So basically, Tariq is writing chapter 6 of his damn book. Anyway, so Kane is on his way to re-up, after Diana done told the mama that, listen, I done found Kanan. I'm not going to tell you, I keep want to say Kanan because he Kanan. I done found Kane. I'm not going to tell you where he is, but he said he's going to be there. And so first, of course, Mary J. Blige at first was like, oh, so you're not going to tell me? Oh, you keeping secrets now? But then she was like, you know what? I don't even care. As long as he show up, I don't even care. Well, when he's on his way to the re-up, the police come get him, because of course now the police he's been identified in the damn robbery of the daggone police station. Of the damn church. So they waiting for him down to the re-up, and when he doesn't show up, Diana calls Tariq. I don't know why Diana called Tariq, but she does. So of course Tariq shows up, and they downstairs talking while Mary J. Blige is upstairs waiting for the dude to show up with the re-up. Now, they must also be having some money problems, because when the dude showed up with the re-up, he told her, he was like, well, where's Kane? And Kane, she was like, well, he ain't here, you dealing with me. And she was like, and we don't need the coke, we only need the pills. And so he was like, oh no, that ain't it. Like, this what y'all asked for, this what y'all getting. And she was like, well, listen, what I'm telling you, I need the pills, I don't need the coke. Like, it is what it is. And he was like, well, I tell you what, I'm leaving with all my money. Now, whether you leave with all your product, that's your business. But I'm leaving with the amount of money I'm supposed to come and get. Now, while this is going on, Kanan is trying to call them, but of course they not answering the Kane, because of course they not answering the phone because they're in the middle of a damn drug deal. Okay, and Diana is downstairs with Tariq flirting, and they get to kissing and shit. And next thing you know, they hear some rumbling upstairs. So, of course, they take off running upstairs, and dude is tussling with Mary J. Blige. And she pulls out her gun because she was like, well, you know what, I don't know who you think you fuck with. And they get to tussling. And so, like I said, Tariq comes running upstairs. And just as Tariq comes running upstairs, does he shoot the man? Or does Mary J. Blige shoot the man? Anyway, somebody shot the man. Mary J. Blige ends up finishing him off. And she's like, what you doing here? And Diana was like, I called Tariq. You know, because when Kanan didn't show up, I called Tariq to show up. And she was like, well, I really, you know, I ain't need you here. Because, of course, she cool with Tariq, but she don't need Tariq that much in her damn business, you know. And Tariq was like, well, you know, I'll take care of it. She was like, no, I'm going to get Drew to take care of it. And he was like, Drew can't. No, Mary J. Blige shot him. Tariq distracted him, and Mary J. Blige was able to shoot him. And so she was like, Drew can handle it. And Tariq was like, Drew can't take care of this body by himself. Like, I got it. And she was like, all right, fine, you clean it up. Now, while this is going on, Kane is still down at the police station. But who does Kane end up calling? He ended up calling the dirty cop that, you know, Mary J. Blige's side piece, right? And he gets him out of jail. And, you know, Kane was like, you know, thank you, I appreciate it. And dude is like, you are really, like, how stupid can you be? Like, why are you out here robbing churches? Like, and then you got, like, you're stupid. You making dumb decisions. Like, you really making real bad decisions. And he was like, it ain't me. It's, you know, it's her. You know, she done got over with Tariq, and she got Tariq, you know, doing everything. She already icing me out. She gonna ice you out next. Like, Tariq, you know, you gotta go talk to her. You gotta go nip this in the bud, because Tariq gonna push both of us out, right? So they get to the house. By the time they get to the house, of course, they done the re-up. Drew and Tariq are taking care of the daggone dead body. They get to the house, and he confronting Mary J. Blige about the situation. And he's like, well, do you need my help? And she was like, nah, Tariq got it. Tariq and Drew are handling it. And Kane looks at him and like, see what I'm telling you? See, it's Tariq. It's Tariq. It's Tariq. And so then this is the first time she's seen Kane. So now she sees his face. And she was like, did the police do that to your face? And he was like, cause he explained he got picked up by the police and stuff. And he was like, nah. So then she knew what happened to him, and she knew why he hadn't been come back to the house. She knew what had happened, right? And she ends up calling her husband and telling him, look, like, don't put your hands on my son again. And he was like, listen, I just told him he needed to not put his hands on my wife. And she was like, listen, don't do it again. Now, I swear, is the girl named Jasmine? I know y'all gonna tell me what her name is. Anyway, Tariq and Drew go to take care of the body, right? And in the midst of them taking care of the body, they made it look like it was a robbery or whatever. So they end up having to shoot him again, which I don't know why they had to shoot him again. But I guess they shot him through the windshield of the car or some shit. Anyway, well, when they did that, some of it got on Tariq. So when Tariq gets back to his dorm, Jasmine is sitting there waiting for him, you know, because now it's sex week, and she like, hey, you know, basically she showed up and, you know, ready to have sex, you know, and they get to kissing and all this good stuff, and Tariq stops her because she about to like take his clothes off, and Tariq stops her. So he gets up and he goes and he gets the index card, and he says, this is what you came for, right? By any means necessary, you trying to get the secret out of me. And so now she's offended because she's like, what? Like, you really think that's why I came over here? You think I came over here just to get that damn card? Like, I came over here because I was really feeling you. But you know what? Don't worry about it, because you're an asshole, and it is what it is. But she sees the card that says a professor sleeping with a student. Now, Tariq has no way of knowing that don't make sense. But she does, because she was like, well, my clue was papaya. So she ends up going to Professor Carey and telling her, like, listen, I don't know what's up with this, but this is the card that Tariq got, and this is the card that I got, and because they all had to go back to her and tell her what their secret was. to see if they were successful in the thing. Now, after she leaves, before she goes to Professor Carey, she's all in her feelings. We see why Tariq kind of pushed her away, because Tariq still had on them damn bloody ass clothes. And when she went to go take his jacket off, he would have seen her shirt. I mean, his shirt with all the blood on it. So he was trying to get rid of her before, you know, he would have to explain why he got a bloody shirt on, right? So when Professor Carey sees this card, she knows that something ain't right. She knows it's a problem. And she confronts Jabari about it. And she tells Jabari, she said, listen, let me tell you something. She said, this right here is an admission of your own guilt. Because I know for a fact that you're sleeping with your TA. So what you gonna do is back up off me and leave me the hell alone. Because this is in your own handwriting. And it is an admission of what you are doing. So if you don't want me to go to the board and let them know what you doing and take and cost you your job, let me tell you what you won't do. You're gonna leave me the hell alone. And he was like, that ain't me. What you talking about? He was like, you the one that's sleeping with Tariq. She was like, Tariq. Who the fuck? Who said I was sleeping with Tariq? What do you, sir? Sir, what are you talking about, sir? That don't even make no sense. Nobody's sleeping with Tariq. And he was like, well, I saw y'all together and I saw this and saw that. And she was like, no, what you think you saw and what you saw are two different things. And none of us got nothing, okay? Now, Queen goes and confronts Uncle Nancy because now he's really pissed off about how things went with Paz. Because that really did make Tasha look really bad. By the time he got done, it did make Tasha look really bad. And he confronts him and he was like, listen, I gotta walk a thin line because I got them on my ass, but I'm still in, I'm still down, and our next witness is gonna be good for us. Well, the next witness is the stripper who was running drugs for Tasha. That's not gonna help Tasha's case at all. If anything, it's gonna prove that she was a fucking queen pin because she was running them drugs through the daycare. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much what it was. That was pretty much it. I mean, Paz went to go visit Tasha in jail. I don't know why. And all Paz told her was, girl, get out. Because she said, well, I didn't kill Jamie. And she said, but you know who did? Get out, girl, get out. Listen, she's not going to turn on her son. So, there's that. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. This damn thing was almost 30 minutes long. This was long. This was long as a daggone episode. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.